the man is coming out being like, well, the Bible say, but then he don't ever say what the Bible say about what the man's supposed to do, red flag. Because why you know everything I'm supposed to do, but you don't know squat diddly do.
Right.
But what the Lord done told you, because I do not feel like you loving me like the Lord loved the church. The church.
We're back. I feel like the last few episodes, my energy has been, but we back nonetheless. Okay. And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. We are back with another episode of the You're Done podcast.
Yes.
It's girl, Big Desto, not the little one.
And be more, nevertheless.
I think we're doing today.
50-50. I think it's an interesting one.
It is an interesting
because I feel like it could go so many different kind of ways. And I just saw a lot of this pop. I don't know why, but I feel like sometimes we like come up with our topics like way ahead of time. And then I feel like once we get closer to recording, we're deciding what topics we want to talk about. But randomly, I always see stuff on my social media. And I'm like, are you trying to tell me like that's what we should be talking about today? So we're talking about going 50-50, whether it's with your... No, I feel like I just want to say your spouse, because me, honestly, I'm not going 50-50 with no boyfriend.
I'm not doing nothing with a boyfriend.
I'm not even living with you.
Right.
That's just me, though. That's just me.
And I have before, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite. But I ain't, I don't want to do that 50-50. I feel like it's a tough conversation to have. It's like because it's like one of those conversations like where if you have your own opinion and it goes against what somebody else may feel out in the world, it's like, how dare you say that? You don't know what I don't know what your pockets look like. I don't care. I'm talking about me. Or sometimes I feel like I have seen a situation, it's a very popular one. Maybe we can start with this. So Travis Kelce and his old girlfriend Kayla. Okay. They broke up because of the 50-50 thing, right? But then he goes and now is engaged to Taylor Swift, who is obviously well off, But this is me. I think this is the story though. They broke up because she said she didn't want to go 50-50. I personally.
That's what they put out there, yeah.
That's right?
That's what's been said. Now, I don't know the intricacies of these people's relationship, but yes, that was the story that was put out. Right,
and a lot of people bashed her for that. Like, why would you want to go? Like, why is going 50-50 a problem for her? And if that's her prerogative, if that's not what she want to do, why are you mad at that? If that's not what she wants to do, she decided this is not going to, they decided whatever. I don't know what they did within their relationship, but they decided this is not what's going to work for me. I don't want to go 50-50 with you. So she left. Yeah. What's wrong with that? And a lot of people tried to make it seem like her decision was bad and like, oh, well, now you're going 100. Now you got to pay it for yourself. I don't, because I have nowhere near as much money as Travis Kelce. Neither does my husband, but we don't go 50-50 either. So I think it depends. I feel like 50-50 or whatever it is that you and your partner decide. I feel like a lot of that goes into the type of person that he is and if he wants to provide for you or not. My beliefs are the man is supposed to provide. I'm not saying I cannot contribute in any kind of way. But at the end of the day, I've never paid that rent. Okay? I've never paid. There's a lot of things I just don't pay. And granted, obviously, if it comes a time when I need to do it, okay, that's fine. I can do that. But just to bash somebody because she decided that for her and her life that she wanted to be with somebody who was not, was willing to provide for her in a way that was greater than a 50-50 situation, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. The only thing, and I will say this, is of course we don't know their relationship. Who knows what she said? And this is why I can't remember what episode, because we talk about a lot of things. But this is why I say when you're entering a relationship, like enter it knowing like what it is that you can actually keep up with. Because I feel like a lot of people based on who it is that you start dating or feeling like this is the person you want to, spend the rest of your life with, you end up doing things that you think is what you need to do in order to keep them. Well, if I gotta think that and I don't want to do that, this is already not going to work. So maybe she went in thinking like, well, this is what we gotta do. This is cool, whatever the case may be. But for me, I just feel like if the man don't want to be a man, and I'm a very easygoing girl, like I just started getting my nails done. Like my husband would, even when we were dating, he'd be like, "Why you don't get your nails done?" I'm like, "I don't want to spend that kind of money." That's just like that was just me at that time, And it's not like I couldn't spend it. I just chose not to. I feel like I could go do other things with my time and my money. So I just kind of feel like it depends on who you with and what you want. But when you're talking about being in a marriage, especially if you're in a Christian or have a religious background, and you want those things to also be centered in your relationship, I just feel like there's certain things that the man should be able to do that does not require me to have to go 50-50 with you on everything. And I say that also with a grain of salt, as Destiny said, because there have been times in my marriage where things did get flipped. My husband was in school, things were going on, so I took on a little bit more. But honey, as soon as he was ready, we came right back. It was just like, yeah, you're not doing that. And I was like, listen, Big Daddy, you ain't got to tell me twice.
Right. To do on the first.
But that doesn't mean
here you go.
that part. But that also doesn't mean that he was paying for everything and then I was just sitting back like a passenger princess.
Right.
No, I kept the house clean. If I went to the store, it was the same. I'd buy my girls a shirt and I'd be like, oh, my man needs some pants. I like these pants. Like I make sure he's taken care of on other levels as well, as his wife and as his woman. So I think sometimes you hear the money aspect and then they forget like the woman is actually doing other things. I don't know what other women may be doing, but I'm saying for me and Destiny having this conversation today, there are other ways that I make up not having to monetarily pay for something in my relationship.
Right.
That brings ease to my man, which makes it easy for that light bill to be paid. Because I'm with Destiny. Don't stop doing that. Sorry. This girl is sitting right outside this window. Scratching on
something. Yeah. But I was gonna say
there's a box out there, she's sitting on it, scratching on it.
He is. But I was gonna say, even with the whole Travis Kelce situation, that I feel like that was a tough thing because she had to go through that publicly, right? And obviously he's Travis Kelce. He has a lot of money. He's a football player. He has all the things. So like, what if it was a regular person? Like a regular person making, I mean, he is a regular person, but with a regular salary. You get what I'm saying? Like, would it have been that big of a deal? Like, was she supposed to just do the 50-50 because it was him? No. I feel like if you have a certain standard or moral or whatever it is that you want for your own life, you go after that no matter who that person is. If that person, and obviously when you're dating somebody, like, okay, on the first day, you're not going in like, so what's your take on 50-50? So I maybe like along they situation. Let me stop talking about them. I don't know what they did, but maybe along anybody's situation when you're dating, it gets to a point where it's like maybe you are trying to live together. Your relationship is going to a different level. These are certain conversations that end up being had that you didn't think about or talk about before, and now it's like, oh well, I don't want to do that. And as a woman, sometimes they may feel like, hey, we're so great. I don't think that that would even have to be a conversation until you have the conversation and you realize something about your partner that you didn't even know about before. Like they can love you so much, but they still want that 50. And I just can't. I don't know. I mean, and no, let me not say I can't, because I can. I prefer.
Yeah. But I think where the 50-50 comes in is that most people think of it as like the woman is being a gold digger. I think the woman is being a gold digger if you paying for her nails, paying for her massages, paying to get her hair done, paying for the wigs, paying her car note, paying for the gas that go in the car. Okay, like, all right. Okay, maybe. Right. And then you say like she can't cook. The house ain't clean. You got to pay for the maid service to come clean the house. She don't, think about you when she going out. Yeah, I feel like then, okay, we talking about two totally different things, y'all. That to me, that's two totally different things. Because I've definitely sat down at a table with Bree and also said, "I'm gonna pay for the meal." And don't get me wrong, the man has definitely looked at me like, "Did I hear?" He
Right.
look at the. Y'all heard what she just.
But Brittany,
But
even just like that, remember that trend, and I think it kind of is still going around a little bit of the going to tell your husband, "Hey, babe, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay the mortgage this month," and they looking at you
yeah,
like, "You've never done that."
I did that to Bree.
So it's just kind of like, I feel like if whatever works for your marriage works for your marriage, whatever, things that y'all set in place that works. But I don't think nobody should be bashed for being like, "Oh, you didn't want to go 50-50. Not look at you. He done moved on with Taylor Swift." And first of all, he's Travis Kelsey. I'm not going to lie. Why do you need me to help you pay this rent? I ain't going to hold you. Pay the rent and get out of my face. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
I feel like, yes, like we keep saying, we keep reiterating, I can and I will contribute in many other ways. But come
yeah,
on now, bro. See, I'm not doing that. And I don't know, and I keep saying I'm gonna stop saying their names. It's just crazy because that's how we started the conversation. But now he's with somebody else who makes just as much or even more than him. And now it's, oh,
yeah.
he's in a better situation now.
But
No, that's
but
not
that's
how
the
that
deal.
works.
Crazier because at first, because the girl left because she wanted more out of the relationship, not just from a money standpoint. I think when you're starting to say what it is that you do or don't want, that just so happened to be the one I think people gravitate towards. I'm pretty sure there was more than one thing that she did not care for in that relationship. But my deal is that she left because she wasn't getting what she needed, so it was her lost, because she could have been with Travis Kelce and he makes money, and she could have just kept
Her
going 50
life
50.
didn't go downhill when she left him. I don't know what I'm saying based on what I see. It's not like she was just, no, I'm
Once
just
he got
saying in
with
general.
Taylor
I'm not saying
Swift,
that's what you're
why
saying.
it's okay? Huh?
I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm just saying in general. Most people will look at it like that. Oh, look at her now. What's wrong with her now?
Yeah, but that's how it was. It was just like she not gonna do better than him. Like she left that to go do what now? When she could have just like sucked it up. So it was all her, but now that he's with Taylor Swift, he has leveled up. I'm not
Right.
understanding how we went from he was the same Travis Kelsey then that he is now. The only difference is that he got with someone who's probably making more money than him compared, and it's not saying she wasn't making money, because I think she was like a broadcaster or something.
I don't know what she was
But
doing.
regardless of what her
Yeah.
job title was, she clearly was taking great care of herself.
Mhm.
And now all of a sudden it's just, oh, you got with somebody with more money, then it's cool. So should Taylor Swift be paying the rent and he should just be sitting back because he got an NFL salary and can have a concussion tomorrow? I'm not
Right.
understanding.
Exactly. So is it based on the person who has the most money that's supposed to pay? I'm not understanding how the 50-50 works. Like, what if the woman is the one who makes the most, money in the household? And that's like
Yeah.
me making more money than Corey and me paying the rent. I'm still not doing it.
Yeah. Now,
I just,
I don't know. I don't know. Now that would be a little bit of a difference. I feel like if I was making more money than Bree and financially, because I also have to think differently because you don't have kids and then I have kids. So there's certain
yeah.
aspects, especially like in my dynamic, that I have to remind Bree of. He'll say something and I'll be like, hey, you remember we got that doctor's appointment, I gotta pay this. And then I had to get my blood drawn and he'll be like, dang. And I'll be like, but don't worry about it because I'm gonna take care of this because he's taking care of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I tend to pick up the unexpected things. That way I can make sure the rest of this, he's like, I'm good. He don't worry about groceries. That man
Yeah.
really don't know how much eggs cost.
Well, I feel like, and maybe I'm being biased because I have a man that just provides. I don't know, but like I'm saying, even if I made more money, I still prefer not to pay the rent. But I will, like, yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
pay for
yeah,
the
yeah.
kids. I'm going to pay for the like. It's not. I still pay for stuff now. That's what. Maybe I should put that part out there. It's not like I just keep all my money and Corey's just out here barely making it. No,
Yeah.
like we are fine. But at the end of the day, we still don't do the whole 50-50 thing. I just, whatever works for you works for you. I don't know what else to say because you ain't finna be out here trying to cancel me. because of what me and my husband do.
But that's the thing. It all boils down into money, but it's also saying like, don't nobody say 50-50 on chores. You shit on the same toilet I shit on. Why am I the only one cleaning the toilet? That's crazy work to me. So I hate when it's like 50-50 when it comes to the money aspect, but then it's never 50-50 in things that the woman does. Because let's be real, the woman can have a kid, bear the child, breastfeed child, or bottle fed, whatever you choose to do. You only out for 6 weeks. I go to work just like you go to work, but then I still come home and cook while you saying you need to kick your feet up because you had a long day. Come again.
And then on the first, you looking at me for half the, please.
It's not even coming on the 5th, the last day that you can pay it. I'm not coming through with nothing because I'm not understanding. And that's what I hate is that most, I'm not going to say all men, because I've met a lot of married women with very good men, and they choose to provide and they choose to do things a particular way, right? And then I do meet some men that's just like, nah, you know, women just, you know, want to take the man's money and run and do this, that, and the third. But it's just like, but you ain't got no problem when I'm doing exactly what you doing, and then I still come home and take care of the house. You ain't got no problem with that. So if we want to go 50-50 on cash, we fit to go 50-50 on everything. Because when I go get them baby diapers, that's $52. Run me my $25. Matter of fact, give me the tax because I got them from Sam's, and I'm not about to play with you.
Literally, and I feel like that's fair because you can't pick and choose what you want to do and go half on. That just makes no sense to me because there's, like you said, like we said earlier, as a woman, there's so many other ways that you contribute to your household outside of monetary things, and I'm not bending over backwards and doing all the, like, I just can't. I refuse. Honestly, what am I with you for? And maybe that just goes back to me having this biblical standpoint of a man is supposed to provide an X, Y, and Z, and the way I was brought up. That's the way my daddy took care of my mama. It just is what it is. And not saying my mama don't pay no bills, but she is very well taken care of. She don't really want for nothing. You know, if she want to go buy her a new purse, you go buy her a new purse. But at the end of the day, I'm not, I feel like I'm content within myself enough to know that if 50-50 is not what I want to do, I don't have to do that. And I don't have to be with you. I don't care who you are, how much money you make, X, Y, Z. None of that really matters to me. At the end of the day, I just want somebody that I know that I can depend on. And if that's not you, and if you feel like, and honestly, even with people that make more, like a lot of money, if that's the case, that's why they got prenups and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I also feel like sometimes that stuff is necessary depending on the situation, I guess. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be with somebody where I feel like, oh, just in case, I'm going to need you to go ahead and sign this. Because why are we together? That's just my personal opinion. I'm not against a prenup. It is what it is. If that's what needs to take place, okay, fine. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be with nobody who feels like, just in case you want to get up and run with my stuff, why are we together? I'm confused. You think I'm going to steal from you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person.
No, but I think that's how, and it's so funny. Bree and I was literally talking about this because a Mary J. Blige song had come on the radio, and I was like, dang, that's crazy. Because he was like, she looked like she don't ever want to perform no more. I said, it's probably because she performing because she got to pay spousal support, you know? And he was like, what happens to men all the time? And I said, I get that. I said, I feel like if you have kids with that woman, you need to pay child support for those kids. Kids ain't free. Ain't nothing for a kid cheap either. I don't care what age they are. I say, so I do feel like you should be trying to upkeep the child's, because that's exactly what you're doing when you do spousal support, right? They're saying you've got used to a certain lifestyle, so now you need to pay so that they can maintain this lifestyle. I feel like that should only apply to the kid. If you and me are not together and I was the one providing the lifestyle is me. You're not with me. So I shouldn't have to pay you anything. I'm not
or the lifestyle.
I don't ever understand that. Yes.
That's insane.
But I do see it is insane. But I also was trying to break it down too, because I think, and again, we keep bringing up celebrities. I don't know why. Maybe because this stuff don't usually happen to, you know, the regular people, you know. But I feel like even the situation with what's that golfer's name? What's his name?
Tiger Woods.
The black one. Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods ended up coming out with all his stuff, I think his wife ended up staying because when you get in that 10-year like phase, you apparently get like more money. It's you something is given to you, right? Because most of these women, let's be real, they probably went 10 years without working. So what does she have to show for the time that she's been with this man other than bearing kids and taking care of them? So maybe she does have to he needs to uphold something for her due to the fact that she hasn't had anything. And I get that, but I'm also in a situation where it's like, if you like us, like working class people, if me and Bree break up today, I can't afford this house, they gonna come take the house, baby. We in Sundance Apartments.
Yeah. Which makes sense, but at the end of the day, maybe that's what a lot of women struggle with, especially when dealing with people who are very well off, of being like, they got it and they get complacent in that. End of the day, I was raised, baby. You always, not saying, like I said, I married somebody that I know that I could depend on. I trust them, X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, when the day ends, I gotta make sure I'm the only person that got me, really. If everybody decides to turn their back on Destiny today, who is gonna get me out of this hole that I done dug myself in? Because I got so comfortable and complacent when being like, oh, he takes care of me, and I have nothing. So if he takes care of you, where are you? What are you doing? You have nothing for yourself. That's insane. You have literally you are a liability. You're a child. You're a dependent, and you need to go get a job. That makes no sense. I don't care how much money your spouse makes. You need to get up and have something coming in. That's crazy. Because what if that man decides he's so big and bad and he got it like that, and I'm Tiger Woods? I want somebody else. Now what?
Kick you to the curb. Nothing.
And you are left with nothing but them kids. Baby, you have wasted all of them years. That's insane. Even when you ain't even have to go 50-50, you ain't even got your 50. Just left with nothing. That is insane.
Oh, you got the 10% to put in the church offering.
You ain't even got time. That's funny.
But I think, yeah, so I think on both sides, you have to prepare yourself. And I think you'll know in certain situations, like, okay, I don't have a full-time job. I could say I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I also have a business where I do bring in money, and that helps me maintain the things that I need to maintain for my household. The things that me and Bree have agreed on, like, hey, you're going to do these things. I know how much those things cost. This is what Brittany needs to be able to bring in. And then, he handles what he handles. But I just feel like you should be able to sit down with your spouse. And what makes me always feel good too is that Brie and I look beyond just what we're doing now. Like, we're looking at finally getting our kids life insurance policies. We have different savings. We are looking to get them a Roth IRA because I want to set my kids up for the future. And then we also realize, like, this is not our final destination. Like, our goal at the end of the day is to be with God. You know what I'm saying? So whether he goes before I do or whatever, I'm praying that we get to live a long life here on earth. But I like that he sits and discusses things with me, and he wants us to be set up that if anything does happen, this is how we maintain the lifestyle for our kids and for ourselves if one of us was not to be here anymore. So if you constantly are with a person being like, nah, we good, but then they putting all their money into, they stocks and stuff, your name ain't on nothing, they don't tell you about nothing. Okay, it's time to go. It's time. You know what? You're done. Yeah. Exactly. Out. Red flag immediately.
Yeah, I ain't gonna better hang with you, my boy.
No, not at all. I feel like that's when you kind of, not even kinda. I feel like that's when you have someone who's betting on you, on both of y'all staying as one from the day that y'all decided to say I do. Or I ain't saying you got no life insurance. If you got a life insurance policy out on your boyfriend, I ain't gonna lie, it's giving snaps. It's giving. I plan on.
It's giving guilty.
It's giving your number one suspect.
He did it
immediately because what you mean. So, but I do feel like these should be conversations that should be had. Like, what is it? Do you know about these kind of things? And it's not to say if they don't know, that makes them a bad person and that becomes a red flag. But now that you do know, what are you going to do that if we decide to have kids, you and I get married, we're going to, like, what are we doing to make sure we're setting ourselves up for the best way possible for the end game, regardless of what it is. And that to me is way more important than saying, yeah, I give my husband half of the mortgage, because
Right.
use my French, mama and daddy, but that's how you get half of the ass. Cause we not busting what? Baby, you better look at me when I get in the shower, cause I'm not busting nothing open. That's for sure.
I paid for it.
When I went half on the rent, that was half of a glimpse.
You better peek, nigga. No
And get
touch,
up outta
just
here.
look. I'm crying. And that's for real though. Cause don't be looking at me for dinner, sex, and I gotta take the kids to the doctor and pay the look. Sir,
Look
please
at
get the hell out
here.
of my face.
Never. And I will say I'm blessed too, because Breon's has definitely taken the girls to a doctor's appointment. I woke up today, y'all. This was a highlight. Even though I was still late to record this episode, my husband had already washed the dishes. The kitchen was clean. When I walked out, I said, look at the living room. The pillows was on the couch, baby. That's what I'm saying. 50-50 well.
Exactly.
This is a partnership.
Girl. Because when I tell you, because all week every time I come home, I just go shower and get into bed. Poor Corey. I cooked once this week. I did get the energy to cook. And I ain't even gonna lie, y'all.
Good job.
I did not like my meal that I made. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just try again next week. And I've made this before. But Corey, he's I'm gonna cook for us on Friday. I'm gonna do this. Girl, Friday came. I was so excited about Friday. And Corey, it's nice to have somebody that you, like I keep saying, can depend on, not even just for monetary things. He clean up. He know where all the stuff go. I'm not just doing everything by myself. And at the end of the day, doing what works for you. Like if the 50-50 thing is what works for y'all, okay, by all means do your thing. I don't care. But I just feel like that can also hinder a relationship if you're both not on the same page of how that's gonna work. Because like you said,
Yeah.
I'm doing all this stuff and then here you come talking about, can I get some? Can I get my money back? I'm confused.
Count in 07.
Go ahead, I'll pay it back. And then I'll think about it. And so I can't do it. I don't know. And so I just pray real hard before I marry somebody, because no. And when we got married, like Brittany said, me and Corey got a whole account for a kid that don't we didn't have, like, this was months ago. Kid didn't even exist. And we have an account. We're doing these things because that is just, like we got bigger fish to fry. This is not the end all be all for us. And I appreciate having somebody like that I can do life with. And I don't know. And my end of the moral of the story, I ain't doing the 50. I'm sorry.
That part.
I can even do the what is it, 70-30? That's really what I'd probably do right now.
That's probably, yeah. I'm probably
and I
more
can
like
do a 50. If the 50, what'd you say?
I say I'm probably an 80-20 at this point. But listen,
And
the
if
20
a 50-50, no, for real. The best 20 you gonna get. But if a 50-50 is necessary, I know that okay, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm not getting with nobody that's doing the bare minimum that feel like, oh, well, you can just help me do the... No.
Not at all.
I'm like, Kayla Nicole,
I will say
I'm
that
leaving.
Too.
You're silly.
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Right. Crazy tail self.
That part. But it's conversation. You got to have a conversation with the person that you're dating. I think one thing for Brie and I too is that we were raised in two totally different types of households. The things he was accustomed to or that he saw, and the things that I was accustomed to and things that I saw. And then some things you do subconsciously just because that was just your environment and you assume, oh, this is how it's supposed to go, until you get with somebody and they like, yep, not her. I'm not none of them over there. And at all, okay? And there's nothing that they did wrong. I always say, if that worked for you, great, girl, happy for you. You and me must never part. Go ahead, do your thing. But for me and what I expected, and I had to come to a common ground. Because like I think we said it before, there are still some things that we may do they were like, I don't like to do that all the time, you know? But it makes my house run smoother. So why wouldn't I want to do something that helps my husband do what my husband needs to do to keep this going? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think a lot of people get stuck in their own ways of like, oh, this is what you have to do. This is what you're supposed to do. No, it's been many times that I've told Bree, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to pay for this, because during the summer, the kids were home. They didn't go to daycare this summer. They're like, listen, I don't know what Champ Energy or whoever this stuff go through, because I don't pay it. But when he told me how much it was, it sounded high to me.
Right.
So I knew he was dishing out more money on that end. And so I picked up on something else. Or even like, hey, you want to eat out? If it was a DoorDash, I don't even have the app. I would just say, hey, you order it. And then I would I would Apple Pay him to say, hey, don't worry about it. I don't feel like cooking. We need to eat. You've been a little stressed. Like, this is how we help each other out on a daily basis. We do this all the time. If I get in my head about money, he's always like, don't worry about it. I don't know where it's going to come from, but we're going to figure it out and we're going to be good to go. That's the type of, that to me, that's a solid 50-50.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that if I'm down on my ass, he's there to pick me up and not make me feel like I'm less than. And then vice versa. If at any point in time, Breon's is like, nah, for real, that's crazy work, then I'm here to help. There's, like Destiny said, there's plans that we want to have in place. So if that requires me to do a little bit extra to get us to a place where you can kind of take over or keep us on track with our goals, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit back and be like, well, I guess you got to go to little CC's and get your little part-time job, because I ain't going to help you with that. So there will be times where you dish out a little bit more than you want to. But I think, like Destiny was saying, if you guys have common goals of how you want to raise your kids in the future, how you see your own self presenting yourself and your financial goals and how you want to live your life, then that takes communication, and then y'all come into a common agreement. And right there, that's 50-50. Right there. That right there. That's all you need. That's my opinion, though.
And that's what works for me too. Whatever she said. Because that's the only 50-50 I'm doing.
If the man is coming out being like, well, the Bible say, but then he don't ever say what the Bible say about what the man's supposed to do, red flag. Because why you know everything I'm supposed to do, but you don't know squat diddly do.
Right.
But what the Lord has told you, because I do not feel like you loving me like the Lord loved the church. The church. What?
At all.
Oh,
the Lord that would not ask me to go 50-50 with him. He takes care of his children. So
10%. And that don't even go to the church. That's just to help whomever. I can get that to the crack. I don't want to call him a crackhead, but I can get that to somebody on the street from the heart. You know? And so, right? No, we're not going to do that. You better come with the full story or don't come at all. Because I'm not listening.
I'm going to call you out. Because I know it. Okay?
And we'll let you. Do you know it?
Pop quiz.
Well, let me get my purse. This has been
head out. And also, I wanted to add with the whole dating. I wanted to add when dating, like you're not married, you just a boyfriend girlfriend situation, and if y'all decide to live together, and I'm speaking from a child, look, don't do that, because at the end of the day, I've had situations or I've heard of situations where it's like that person. They'll like, I don't like when people like throw it in my face of what they're doing. You know, if I feel like in a marriage, things are more so like solidified. We're doing this for each other. This is a us thing rather than a boyfriend, girlfriend. And depending on your relationship, how serious you are and how, manly and provider-ish they are, it can be a hinder on your relationship, because why are you throwing it in my face that you paid the rent as if you don't live here too? You have to do that anyway. Don't piss me off. I'm not understanding. And you're going to pay it next month too. Stupid. Be mindful of what situations you allow yourself in, because people are crazy. Okay? And you shouldn't be going with no boyfriend.
No.
Or girlfriend.
No. And you ain't even took them to see your mama or grandma?
Just think about what your mama would say if you over there living with that man, but you got to call her and ask for your 50. How you living with a man? The math ain't mathing.
At all. None whatsoever. Because what you mean? What is he doing? That's definitely what Mama gonna say. What is he doing?
Right.
Y'all must both be doing bad.
Y'all both need to go back to the drawing board.
But yeah, y'all both need some help because it definitely ain't just about to be I need to come through because he is choosing not to. Because my first question is gonna be is how was you eating before I got here? Okay, go back to that.
Literally.
Go back to that.
Exactly. It's a whole
Because that's all I got for you. No, I say that's all I got for you.
Right.
Because that's too much. But moral, I don't. This is gonna be a hard one to say like what you done with though, because I've never lived with anybody while dating. I've only lived with, and Brie and I didn't even live with each other until we were married, which is a whole nother topic in itself. That can be a little hard when you don't really know how people like, stay in their own space and then y'all trying to live in each other's space. That was a little weird for us in the beginning, but clearly we worked it out. Here we are. I don't know if I'm done with anything because I've never lived this, but I think in the sense of like, if we had a guest on or someone had been through this, it's just like, be done with feeling like you have to do something in order to keep somebody. Like if there's something you just know that you like, this is what it is. This is what I stand on. This is what I expect from the woman or man that you are with. Have that conversation. And if they don't like that, that's okay. Somebody out there really love what you asking for and they willing to do it. So don't settle and then, don't start doing things in order to say, hey, they got upset when I said this, so let me change. Cause honey, it's only gonna last for so long. Somebody gonna blow up. And it's best that I go ahead and get out now. Cause when I blow up,
call the stop, drop, and roll.
Get out of the building.
Evacuate.
Immediately.
I think I could be done with, I don't know, because I was going to touch on the part of like, I think I wanted to say, not me. I don't feel like I do this. And if I do, I work on it. But I speak on other people's circumstances and not knowing the full story. Like the whole Kayla Nicole thing. If somebody don't want to do something, that's their prerogative. It's not up to us to say she made a mistake or she did that, she did this. Because are you going to give her the other 50? I'm confused. So I think of learning to do what works for you and leaving the other things alone. Let's mind our business. That's step one. And also, like my mama said, never say never. You never know where situation you may find yourself in. Like you and like for instance, me and Corey, we could be just great today, and you never know what could happen tomorrow. So understanding that it could be you. Understanding that whenever it's that time that you need to step up to be there for your partner and all those things, you need to make sure you're prepared. Okay, so don't be living life just willy-nilly and he got it. Because what if he don't one day? That's fine. They don't make him less of a man. You just need to help him figure it out. Okay? Yeah. I think that. Because I will sometimes say some things it is never. Okay? I will never be on drugs. I would never. But I might have to pay that rent one day. You never know.
We gonna pray that we are never on drugs. But this is partially also, side note, why we tend not to do a lot of things because our family has addictive personalities and I ain't got the time. I ain't trying to test out how high my addiction is. So I'm just gonna avoid it all.
Know. Some things I don't want to know.
And that's one of them.
For sure. I saw it didn't work out for y'all, so I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Good luck.
Moving on. But yeah, I guess that's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Right? It was cool. I was scared to talk about this because I don't know. Like I said, your opinion can make or break of your social media accounts. Lord, don't cancel us, y'all.
Don't cancel us. We just be speaking our minds, from a place of experience and then sometimes not experience, but we try to be mindful of everyone's situation. Not everyone lives like Destiny and I, but just giving you our perspective and what we think can help. But as we always say in every episode, honey, whatever works for you is going to work for you. You do not have to take this advice. There's a lot of advice out there. you do not have to take ours. But
Right.
I'm just gonna say too, if it's working for half of the population of married people, I think I'm gonna give it a try.
Right. Like,
But
hello.
definitely do what's best for you, and of course, you know what it is that you want. Some people love to travel, some people don't want kids, and that's fine too. And if whatever situation y'all have going on is gonna work best for you and how you see your 50-50 working out, then allow that to be it. But for this particular conversation, I feel like it was more so geared towards when a lot of people are trying to navigate someone else's pockets and dictate whether or not someone should be helping out or doing more than what it is that they claim that they're actually doing. And like Destiny said, first off, you don't know the full story, but for the basis of when y'all be out here trying to tell somebody they need to go, nah.
I'll pass.
And we already told you 45 minutes ago why we ain't doing it.
Yeah, I ain't changing my mind on that one. Sorry.
No.
So yeah. Well, guys, it was nice talking to y'all this week. We gonna see y'all at the, what'd you say?
I say we'll be back.
Right. See y'all next week at the same time. Peace.
All right, Breland, what would you like?
I was a little scared.
Get off the dough. Why are you on the dough?
Breland, why are you not upstairs like you supposed to be when we recording? What? Hello.
All right.
Okay, see y'all in an hour.
All right. Bye.